Hey y'all, this is Dylan at Bob Parker & Son. Just wanted to show you all this 2006 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited Rubicon that we've had under our care. Wanted to give you all some details on these if you're not familiar with them, as well as just show some of the work that we've done. The customer bought this. The suspension was pretty wore out. It had a pretty inexpensive lift kit on it that was just wore out, and a lot of the bushings were dried up and in bad shape. So the first thing we did was yank all that stuff out, and we replaced it with a RockJock 4-inch lift with adjustable control arms. Show you those. Johnny joints on both ends. We also upgraded to quick disconnects in the front. We would have done an anti-rock, but unfortunately they don't work really well with these ARB bumpers. Also, we fitted this with a Fox steering stabilizer. Gives it a much better feel when driving down the road. This Jeep drives fantastic. That combination RockJock suspension with the Fox stabilizer in the front, it's just unmatched. It drives absolutely incredible. Better than stock. And with those Johnny joints, it's got tons of flex and will do absolutely incredible off-road as well. As I mentioned, the ARB bumpers, we refinished those and installed those for the customer. This one does have the tire carrier that is mounted to the tailgate. However, it does put all the weight on the rear bumper there and on the frame rather than on the tailgate. We have seen those tailgates crack when you put a lot of weight on them. Something you'll notice about this Jeep too is it does have a color match hardtop, which they did not offer in 2006. But at some point somebody sanded all the texture off of this and had it color matched, and it matches really well and looks really good. Definitely makes it way more unique. The Rubicon came out in 2003 and featured Dana 44 locking differentials, both front and rear, as well as a RockTrack 4-to-1 low range in the transfer case. However, the Unlimited did not come out until 2004, and the Unlimited Rubicon was limited to 2005 and 2006. It makes this Jeep pretty rare. Only made for 2 years. This color was also only a 2-year color, 05 and 06. Not many of them were made in this color. A couple other things we did on the outside. The Rubicons feature a 1-inch wider than standard fender flare, cover up more aggressive off-road tires, and we refinished those. A lot of people don't know, but the Rubicon flares are not straight up black. They're a little bit lighter than black. And they also have a little bit of a sheen to them. Pretty hard to duplicate the original color, but I think we nailed it. As you see, to step inside, these are Mopar Performance. There were an accessory order rock rail on there. The Rubicons would have come with a diamond plate type rocker guard. But this one has an extra tube there, which can be used to bump off rocks or to use as a step to get inside. Those are really hard to find, really rare. We took those off and had them sandblasted and powder coated back to a factory finish. But that is not the only Mopar accessory that this Jeep has. Y'all, if you haven't noticed already, this is a very hard to find Jeep. Between the color, the long wheelbase, the limited production, the lockers. It makes this Jeep quite the unicorn, all the features that this one has, and this one is very tastefully modified. Here again, ARB bumpers. We have a Warren XD9000 winch that we are restoring for the customer. We will get that put on there as well. Along with all the upgrades, we also did some service on this Jeep. Valve cover gasket and PCV grommets have been replaced, as well as it does have a fresh oil change. Step to the inside and I'll show you something else that makes this Jeep really special. We'll go ahead and fire it up. As you see there, only 49,617 miles. Very low for a 2006. If we look here, this is called a Garmin Trail Guide. And if we take this out, this folds down. This actually is stored inside of here. This was also a Mopar accessory at the time that is very rare, very hard to find these days, but this one does have it. If we move down here, we see the switch for the axle locks. Like I say, that is both front and rear lockers. They are only available when the transfer case is in low range. And this one, once again, features the 4-to-1 low range in the transfer case, both of which are a huge upgrade for off-roading. So let's talk about the name Rubicon. So in the early 2000s, AEV was upfitting these Jeeps, and one of the things they were doing was upfitting them with air lockers to make them more capable off-road. And another thing they did was they made some long wheelbase versions. So Jeep took matters into their own hands a couple times. They made the long wheelbase Wrangler here, but in 2003, Jeep wanted to make a vehicle that out of the box, straight from the factory, would be capable of trekking across the Rubicon Trail, which is a trail out west. Many of you may have heard of, maybe not, but very technical trail. Lots of rocks, lots of pretty difficult obstacles. And so one of the things that they needed were lockers. So they fitted them with lockers, a low range transfer case, some rocker guards, wider flares, some more aggressive tires. All of this was just to make it more off-road capable. And so in 2003, that's when the Rubicon debuted. This one is an 06. This is the last year of the TJ. Like I say, this one is an LJ, which just means it's the long wheelbase version. The LJ Rubicon is still revered as one of the most off-road capable Jeeps, and it is one of the most popular for modifying and for taking out and using on trails such as the Rubicon. Because of that, these are getting harder and harder to find. This one is very well kept, low miles, and tastefully modified. So thanks for walking around this Jeep with me today. We love Jeeps, and runs in the family at Bob Parker & Son. If you have any more questions about any Jeeps or would like to check out our inventory, check us out online at bobparkerautosales.com or give us a call at 502-664-3000. This Jeep here is not currently for sale. Just wanted to show some of the work that we can do and how much we appreciate these Jeeps. Thanks.